Welcome to Let Your Light Shine, the podcast where we illuminate the path to your best self. I'm your host, John Louis Hardrick, and I'm so excited to have you join us on this journey of empowerment and self-discovery. Today, and in each episode, we'll dive deep into the themes inspired by the book, Let Your Light Shine, Unleashing Your Inner Glow through Essential Self-Care Practices for Empowered Women. This podcast is for anyone seeking to cultivate their inner glow, embrace their power, and truly let their light shine. In our conversations, we'll explore different topics that resonate with women and girls from all walks of life. We'll discuss the SHINE method, practical and transformative self-care practices like sleep, proper hydration, tuning into our intuition, and nourishing our bodies while remaining fully engaged. But that's not all. We'll also delve into cultivating joy through hobbies, practicing grace, forgiveness, and engaging in activities that make our souls light up. Each episode features incredible women who share their stories, wisdoms, and insights. They're entrepreneurs, creatives, professionals, mothers, daughters, all shining examples of how embracing these practices can lead to a fulfilled and empowered life. So whether you're looking to ignite a new spark in your life or fan the flames of an existing one, Let Your Light Shine is here to guide and inspire you. Remember, for more resources and information, you can always visit lightshinebook.com. Let's get started and explore together how we can all let our light shine brighter. Join me, John Louis Hardrick, in this empowering journey. Here's to letting our lights shine together. And now, let's dive in to today's episode. Hi, it's Jocelyn Hardrick. I'm the author of Let Your Light Shine, Unleashing Your Inner Glow through Essential Self-Care Practices for Empowered Women. And we're here for another episode of the Let Your Light Shine podcast. We have a great guest with us today. Her name is Amber Burney. She was born and raised in Safety Harbor, Florida, came from a two-parent household, and she is the youngest of 5. At a young age, she knew she wanted to be an attorney because she would argue over scriptures about the sermon with the pastor, the one he just did too. And it was that little 4-year-old preacher's kid, so she's a PK,
Yes.
that loved the Lord and would argue anyone down against God's word. She learned at a very young age of 9 that not everybody wants you to win. And at a parent-teacher conference, she had a teacher tell her mother, Amber would never be anything more than a C- average student, then you might as well give up on her now. Holy cow. Come on, somebody. Who said that? I formed her mouth to say that out loud to her mama.
And I was sitting the same way.
Yeah, sitting right there. The mother told her teacher not to compare her child to anyone, knew she had to prove this lady wrong, and she started middle school. When she started middle school, all she heard was her voice. Unlike others, she used her voice to light a fire in her and prove that woman wrong, which she did in her first year of middle school. She was never saucy.
Yes.
And she continued throughout her school career and onward into high school. And her mother returned to that elementary school every semester to show her old teacher the report cards. Okay.
Yes, she did.
And once she graduated from high school, she attended junior college at SPC, which is St. Petersburg College, received her associate's degree in pre-law, transferred to a 4-year college, USF, University of South Florida, received her bachelor's degree in criminology. And her mom went back to that elementary school to show the school teacher's husband, who was also an attorney, especially once she got accepted to law school. And it was more validation to her mom than anything to say, I told you so.
Yes, it was.
So that's her early journey. Man, can you imagine someone telling you that? But sometimes we get caught up in like proving them wrong. So we're gonna dive into that a little bit. But now Amber is a part-time law student at Cooley Law School, and she's in her third year. She also works full-time as a paralegal, and she has 7 years experience in VA disability law and is gaining experience in other areas of law as well. She enjoys cooking, writing poems, inspirational quotes, swimming, and pretty much anything that gets her out of her comfort zone. And she's into a new venture now. She helps people with their spiritual development. And now she has a podcast called The Queen's Corner.
Yes.
So we're going to put the links to that in the show notes. Make sure you check it out. And we want to welcome Amber Burney. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me, Miss Jocelyn Hardrick. I can call you Miss Jocelyn, not Professor, right?
Yes, that's fine. Yep. So yeah, I'm her professor.
Yeah, she
She
is.
works as my teaching assistant, but she's an empowered woman too. I invite my students. I'm so impressed by all of my students. They grown. They have whole lives and they teach me all kinds of things. So we want to hear their stories too, right? How do you
Yes.
let your light shine? So before we get into that, tell us a little bit more about, your experience in law school and all the things you're juggling right now.
So right now I am a 3L part-time law student. So I do work full-time as well as the paralegal, and I'm also a guardian ad litem. So I get no sleep, and I love to sleep. That's one of the ways I let my light shine. But anyways, so juggling that and trying to maintain a healthy, balanced schedule. Balance is a joke. Just making sure I'm eating healthy or catching a meal and sleeping is basically what I do. In the midst of that, I do have a podcast, a new venture. It's a hobby that I started. I started it in 2019 before I even started law school, and I just had everything on my Instagram page, doing inspirational quotes and things like that. And then I decided, okay, once the pandemic happened, I was like, maybe it's time to do a podcast. Maybe it's time to get my voice out there more because people can read things, but people don't always read. They like to hear things. They're more like audible listeners. So I'm like, let's do that. That's why I started Queen's Corner to inspire others that feel down and depressed because at that time during the pandemic, we were down and depressed. People weren't able to go outside and get the sunlight they wanted and travel, but we got to be more with family and be grounded. So that was the reason for that. So I'm just a person that just loves to help people, loves to inspire, and just loves to illuminate positive light and energy.
I've heard that from people before where they said, I feel like our people don't read a lot or as much, and so we want to put things in audio version. Where did you get that idea from that folks aren't reading?
I bought my dad a book 1 year for Christmas. And he told me, I don't read. And I said, oh my God. He said he falls asleep reading. And he's older, so I'm like, there's no way you got through because he's a college graduate. So I'm like, there's no way you got through IT and you don't read. Like, there's no way. And you reading sermons and stuff, but he said he falls asleep. And I have a friend, it's not just our people, but other people don't read either. But I had a friend who I work with, she said the same thing. She falls asleep in books. And I'm like, what? I love leisure reading. So that's why I did it. I'm like, if he's not gonna read, and I think the book was for color people, I think it was. And he's like, I already seen the movie. I'm like, and that's why I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and not buy him any more books. I thought it was a good Christmas gift.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the United States in general, people are reading less.
Yes.
And they are using these other forms of media. So that's why I write books, but I also put it in Audible. That's why I'm doing this podcast. I just want it to be available so people can decide the best way they want to interact. But I just thought it was interesting because I've heard that from a few people before. As we come to the close of another enlightening episode of Let Your Light Shine, I want to thank you sincerely for joining us today. It's been a true joy and privilege to share this space with you and our inspiring guest. Before we part ways, I'd like to leave you with a small nugget of wisdom to carry with you. Remember, the light you hold within is a beacon of hope, strength, and beauty. It's uniquely yours, and when you let it shine, you not only illuminate your own path, but also light the path of others.
If you've been inspired by our conversation today, I would encourage you to explore more at lightshinebook.com, where you can find additional resources and support on your journey to unleashing your inner glow. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with someone who might also benefit from its message. Remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode of Let Your Light Shine. As we say goodbye for now, remember that every day is an opportunity to embrace your power, cultivate joy, and most importantly, let your light shine. Until next time, I'm Jocelyn Jean-Louis Hardrick, wishing you peace, love, and light. Thank you for listening, and keep shining bright.